Hi everyone. This week we are going to be starting a 2-week project. I'm going to get you started with the first half and then we are going to wrap this project up next week. To begin, you need your sketchbook and a pencil. We're not using a whole lot of materials this week. It's more of a planning week. So flip to your next clean page of your sketchbook. I need you to have it portrait style. Whenever I say portrait, I mean your page is gonna be nice and long, going vertical. And this week, I wanna introduce how to draw the human figure. It is a very overwhelming topic, but I'm gonna break it down for you, and we're gonna learn step by step how to do this. So the human body is, you have to draw it in a very proportional manner. And then I'm going to break that down for you. So first things first, we are going to be drawing 2 figures today so you can get practice with both. I will be starting on the left side of my page. The human figure is said to be about 8 of your heads stacked on top of each other. So what I want you to do, start by drawing 8 ovals, kind of like a head shape, all the way down your page. And do this carefully, because you want to make sure they're all consistent and that you can get all the way to the bottom of your page. Just like that. So the first thing, this top one is obviously going to be your head. So we're going to keep that one alone. Next, we need to put your neck. Just put a small line to indicate your neck, and after that is your shoulders. So I'm going to be drawing a line to indicate my shoulders. You don't want to have it to be too long, just coming out a little bit. And you can see we're breaking into the second head. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to count down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to put your hips in there. So I'm going to put a line that's just a little bit smaller than that shoulder line, so you should be able to have kind of an angle on either side. And that is where your arms are going to go down to. Now I don't want to forget your elbows, so I'm actually going to, about halfway on my third head there, I'm going to put some dots to indicate my elbows. And then I'm going to put my forearm just going a little bit past the hips. I'm putting dots to indicate where all my joints are. And then draw some hands. Now, the next thing, we want to get your knees in there. So what I want you to do is right down here. And actually, we're going to split that last head in half, just like that. We're not going to use that bottom head right there. I want you to put some dots to where the ends of your feet would be. Half, 1 whole one, half. Draw a line, put a dot on either side. These will be indicating your knees. Your thigh connects to your hip, so I'm going to be drawing a line to connect them. And your shin comes up from there. And then draw something for some feet. Now you're probably in disbelief that I just showed you how to draw a stick person, but do you see how this looks a little bit like a skeleton? That's to help you understand how the proportional works. But I want to leave this here because this is going to help you as a guide. I want you to move right next door. We're going to recreate it. So I'm just going to follow those lines. You can see right here, I have my shoulder line. My neck right here. My oval. I'm gonna take that bump off my head. And I'm going to continue this line down. Add my hip line. Just like before, I want to make sure it actually goes in a little bit. So that's not too bad. I see my dots for my arms. You might even want to play around. Maybe you want them to be hands on your hips. I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to have some fun with this. So there's my first arm. My second one. Doing the exact same thing. Putting my hands on there. I put my thighs. And my shins, as well as my feet. So to give our stick person just a little bit more to them than a skeleton, we are going to add some ovals around to give that shape. So putting this here like that, making sure my hand connects. I'm going to round these out just a little bit. Your hip is right in here. Put your torso are just some lines. Get my neck. Those just have little lines on each side that kind of trail into your shoulders. And your legs are also some ovals. It's okay that everything is kind of overlapping a little bit. Just shows how your different joints and bones all connect together. Put my shins, and your shins are just a tad skinnier than your thighs. And same thing, I'm gonna be kind of connecting some of these lines. I don't know about you, but my knees don't usually have a giant dip like that. And then clean up your lines just a little bit. You might want to make your hands just a tad bigger. And just keep going over these lines. It's okay if you have pencil on this one. This is our practice. We are doing some sketching beforehand before we do this big project so that you understand. The human figure has got to be one of the hardest things for artists to draw. And you really want to take your time to understand how everything works so that you can have a proportional figure. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go and outline everything in my Sharpie. I feel like this is a really important step because you want to be able to see what you did. I recommend using a cover sheet to put underneath your page or it'll bleed through. So I'm gonna grab my Sharpie and I'm gonna go over those final lines that I've drawn and think really define what my figure looks like. And there you go. I'm gonna leave it up to you. If you would like to add some colors to this figure, you may. This is kind of like our preliminary. I mostly wanna see that you went through the process of learning the proportions and then recreated it into a rounded out figure. If you would like to add color and some more details, I'd love to see it, but I'm not going to require that. All right, have fun.